The problem isn't men, and the problem isn't women. I want to first make it clear that this is what works for me, this is what I desire, and what I know I deserve. Perhaps you want less, perhaps you want more. But right now in this moment, this is how I feel on a matter. I've been told that I'm a unicorn because I'm an old soul, because I have poise, because I'm feminine. And I'm aware that I'm intelligent and beautiful under the same breath, because I'm devoted to becoming the best version of myself. But I'm not the only woman like this. There's plenty of other women who, instead of focusing on dating boys, they're focusing on elevating themselves. It's not an anomaly. Instead of dating, we're focusing on pouring into ourselves, so we can have the capacity to not only be a great woman, but also a great future wife, if that's what you want, a great future mother, if that's what you're wanting, and just a great influence overall. And people who take time to work on themselves, not just women, men and women, all walks of life, who take time to actually pour into themselves, heal themselves, learn themselves, accept themselves, and unconditionally love themselves, are an absolute blessing to this world. And they deserve to be blessed as well. You cannot be a beam of light if you're in a relationship with someone who dims it or doesn't appreciate the light that you carry. I'm personally getting recertified as a life coach, and I'm working towards becoming a spiritual healer. I naturally evoke the best in people, not just my clients. My physical presence invokes the best in people. It highlights people's shadows and flaws because I unapologetically accept and embrace mine. Not only do I bring out the best in people, but I also bring out the best in the men that I date. Every man that I've dated, I've inspired to be better. All of a sudden, they're going to the gym every day. All of a sudden, they want to work towards their goals. All of a sudden, they want to start that new business, start making more money. This is what happens when you're in the presence of someone who's taken the time to elevate themselves. They elevate you as well, effortlessly. I'm also independent. I can take care of myself. I got the apartment. I did the full-time job. I did the having 2 jobs. I did the having 3 jobs. And by no surprise, it just wasn't for me because it depleted me. I realized I don't want to work like a mule in order to pay all my bills, because having to do that leaves me no room to fully rest and play. No room to play with my passions, no room to play with my ideas. It left me minimal time to pour into myself, which is needed. So I moved back with my parents and became a part-time receptionist, giving me the energy that I need, not just to pour into myself and my passions, but also to pour into my business, which in turn makes me a lot more money long-term. I can be more intentional and patient with myself, because this lifestyle is sustainable for me. I've realized I don't want to be in go mode all the time. So if someone wants to come into my life and take my hand, I'm not going into survival mode to sustain that relationship. I expect for him to already have his life together. And if he doesn't, it's just really not my problem. I'm not putting my energy towards building up a man. I'm very nurturing. I can nurture, elevate, and inspire a man effortlessly. I hear it in my mouth. But it's not my job to change a grown man. I tried that. It doesn't work. That energy that I was using towards trying to get a guy to act right was taking away from the energy I should have been using to elevate myself. If a grown man has to be mothered and deeply trained, then he's not a fully grown man to me. He still has some growing to do, which again, isn't my problem. But it became my problem, making exceptions to the rule, because I let my feelings override logic. That's how we end up stuck looking like clowns. You need to stop overriding logic because of your feelings towards a guy. True alignment to me is when your heart and your mind is in agreement. If your heart is saying yes, but your head is saying no, you could be attracted to this person due to something toxic that you haven't healed yet, an attachment style. We're naturally attracted to what's familiar to us, and you need to dissect what that is. For me, I had a parent that felt very distant once I hit puberty. What was once my best friend somehow became a bully. I got yelled at and blamed for everything. I got punished for silly things like my cleavage almost showing, blamed for things that I didn't do, and it felt like no matter what I did, this parent was always angry at me. I had to beg that parent to spend time with me, to hear and understand me, to see the pain that they were causing me. This parent never took responsibility for the emotional abuse and trauma that they put me through. And when it was addressed, they all of a sudden had bad memory. Could not recall treating me like absolute What they did do was point the finger back at me. I was a problem no matter how much I tried to solve or resolve issues. And I became an even bigger problem in their eyes when I refused to allow that parent to keep treating me and talking to me like And I attracted that same dynamic in dating. A guy who ghosted me all the time, got distant randomly. One minute he's cold, one minute he's warm and loving. I was head over heels for this guy. And I was left with a lot of emotional damage from that relationship as well. And he didn't care to make it up to me. In fact, he said I was actually partially responsible to why things ended. I was partially responsible because I refused to deal with being treated like because I stopped accepting unacceptable behavior. Some people cannot take full responsibility of the damage that they do. So you need to take full responsibility of yourself. Date with intention. Be very observant of people's behavior and be very clear about what you want and need in a relationship. Be very clear on what you don't tolerate and why. Don't just copy and paste someone else's standards, because everything isn't for everyone. We all want different things and we're all in different places in our lives. Not everyone wants monogamy. Not everyone is ready for a relationship. Not everyone wants marriage. You need to be able to spot these things if you're someone who does, because you can't make someone want those things. And there's nothing wrong with someone for not wanting those things. I've chosen to spend a lot of time dating myself, learning myself, questioning myself, understanding myself, and unconditionally loving myself. The problem isn't men, and the problem isn't women. The problem is a lot of people skip this vital part of self-development. Speaking from experience, there's nothing better than spending time with yourself, learning yourself, loving yourself, because through that you attract the right love for you.